Welcome to our Rocky Mountain Sasquatch Organization podcast, the Dirt Road Roundtable Drive, or our Roundtable Drive on road. We're in the little remote town of Orofino, Idaho. We get a lot of vocalization reports out of this area, not to mention sighting reports. One just outside of the town, and we're going to Dworshak Reservoir. There were several of them out there by a family that lived near the reservoir out here.
A family of Bigfoot, or a family and a Bigfoot lived by them?
A family that lived in a remote cabin back there near the reservoir. There's a little mountain across the way that they could see from their cabin, and they would see one or more of them sometimes up there.
Oh, so they saw them?
Yes, from a distance, and then some of the family members would have experiences that they attribute to probably those creatures living nearby that they would see up on the mountain across the way once in a while. They also would find their tracks and everything, so this is sightings that happened by people that lived there over a very long time. Jenny and I just did like a 4-hour, 200-mile drive from Lolo, Montana to get to this Orofino from that direction. Just a few small towns.
We went through Nez Perce National Forest, is that what it was?
Uh-huh.
It was really pretty.
Yeah, this little town's remote, out in the middle of Bigfoot country. Lots of Bigfoot reports around this area. As a matter of fact, Jenny brought up the Nez Perce National Forest. There was a well-documented, I would call it kind of famous, Bigfoot sighting by like 9 people at the Nez Perce Visitor Center.
Yeah, we stopped by there, but due to the snow, it's still closed, but...
Yeah, there was snow up to our shoulders.
Yeah.
By the way, we were like, yeah, I hope we could hike around there, blah, blah, you know. And
not without skis.
This was up at the top of the pass, Ridgewalker territory. We were able to do a hike down below at the edge of the snow line. Swampy stuff. It's fun to get out to these places where you receive Bigfoot sightings and you also read them. I mean, we've received them. We've seen them on other Bigfoot media sites.
I would never come here in a million years if we hadn't come here to do a Bigfoot report. So it's kind of neat to see that these places, how pretty they are.
Well, look at that huge helicopter.
Yeah, the airport's over there.
It's the first helicopter Jenny and I have been camping here for 3 days now, and it's the first helicopter I've seen.
It's the first airplane I've seen, any kind of aircraft.
Yeah, there is a tiny little airport right near this town of Orofino. But even though they have a little airport, it's the first air activity I've seen.
Yep.
Yeah, see, I'm counting the hangars now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Like about 10 hangars and
a strip.
Yep, they do have a paved landing strip. I see a lot of airstrips in Idaho that are grass airstrips, little tiny ones, no hangars, some of them.
It's really humid around here because there's a river that runs right through here. It's as big as a lake.
It's like a moving lake.
It's like a moving lake. What is it?
This is the Clearwater.
Clearwater.
And it reminds me of different parts of the salmon and the snake up towards the headway. It actually meets up with the snake somewhere around Lewiston, I believe, from here. At least I believe that's where they meet up. Jenny and I are always chasing what I call the Snake River Monster. Back before the word Bigfoot was coined, a lot of settlers and the Indians would talk about the Snake River Monster, or hairy wild man and all that. And now, since about the 60s, now we know what it is. It's Bigfoot. Yep, and this meets right up with this Snake River, like, 20 miles from here? Yeah, and this was a pleasant surprise. I mean, I didn't know this river was going to be as major and as big as it is.
Well, this whole area isn't even like what we consider Idaho terrain. Because we spend a lot of time in Idaho. This is more like Oregon or Northern California right in here. It's really warm and humid, and everything's all lush and green.
Yeah, when you hit the Snake River, it kind of, in a lot of places, separates Idaho from Oregon. So we're right on near the Oregon border. And we came down from Montana. I mean, we're from Utah, but we started our expedition in Montana because we wanted to come down the canyon from Missoula and Lolo.
You want to go through, what is it called, Lolo Pass? Is that what it is?
Yeah, we went over Lolo Pass. Yeah, we had a Class A sighting report from Lolo's Pass. Or the canyon south of Lolo. Jenny and I have already done some hikes around some other remote areas around here. Well, flip, everything's remote.
Yeah, it takes 2 hours to get anywhere. Between point A and point B is just solid forest. There was a whole, I don't know, couple hours yesterday that we were coming through Clearwater Byway, and you couldn't even get out of the car because the trees were so thick on each side of the street.
Yeah, we went out by a Moscow Mountain, Potlatch yesterday because of the sightings in those areas, and we're kind of stamped like a 200-300 mile area around this and been checking on things. Wow, that dam is huge.
Yeah, it is.
Some people think it's kind of weird that there's Bigfoot sightings around settled areas. I mean, why not in the most remote places where people stereotype Bigfoot? I'm sure that is where Bigfoot stays most of the time, or they'd be spotted more often. But it takes two things for a Bigfoot sighting. It takes a Bigfoot and a person to see it.
Yeah,
or film it. And so it makes sense, around this oasis of people, this town of a few thousand people, that Bigfoot's spotted and heard around this town.
Yeah, nobody's living out in the middle of the forest.
But some of our Bigfoot sightings that we were investigating, one at Moscow and one out by Potlatch, those were road crossers. on the outskirts of these towns where people are camping and stuff, that's where they're reporting Bigfoot vocalizations to us. Yeah, just one or two incidences off in an area doesn't get my attention. This area where there's like a half a dozen Bigfoot sightings right around here, and then vocalizations to go with it, and over a long period of time. And the one at the Nez Perce Visitor Center, that was 9 different people that saw it at the same time. And some of them were from different walks of life, you know. I mean, they're tourists from like Minnesota, and these tourists from California, and these tourists from Washington, you know. Yeah, if it was just one group of people, you know, it'd be suspect that, hey, they got their story straight. But yeah, that sighting, 1992, that made it in newspapers and stuff around here. I know Washington newspaper had it. That's where I saw the article about it. And then BFRO picked up on it, and they did a little story about it on their blog, or their website, I should say. Not only do we like to take you guys to the spot exactly, or as close as we can get to where people have spotted it, we like to show you the whole general area that kind of paints a picture of the Bigfoot's home, because you know the Bigfoot doesn't live right where someone saw it.
Oh my gosh, that dam is huge.
It is like making my head spin. It's scary huge.
It's amazing that...
Whoa.
That is gargantuan.
I know a lot of massive dams that we see, they just span a small area at a bottleneck. That dam spans some area.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Look at the smoke coming up, or the steam coming up off the road.
Wow, this reservoir is pretty.
Wow, this part of it reminds me of Palisades. The pine trees come right up to the shorelines and stuff. Dworshak. Hope I'm saying that right. Yeah, since we were right by the dam and everything, I wanted to see it before we go back and start exploring the sighting locations right back behind there.
Well, heck, there's nobody even here.
Yeah, that's because we do our expeditions in the middle of the week so we don't run into people. We try and plan our expeditions where there's going to be the least impact of other people, so if you show up on a place on a Monday, Tuesday, or a Wednesday, you're less likely to see very many people. Most campers don't show up until Thursday or Friday, and most of them leave by Sunday. Wow. Hope the camera's doing this justice. This is a pretty cool reservoir. And I know it's massive. It just goes back and kinks back and forth and winds its way through these canyons here.
Look at the geese. Oh, there they go.
But that is our game plan today. We'll take you guys on this video through the driving sections, but we're going to go back to the sighting and vocalization areas and find places to hike around and look. And you guys get to see in between A's and B's. Over half the Bigfoot sightings reported are from someone driving around in a car or ATV or whatever. So we have better chance at seeing a Bigfoot in our car than out on foot. So we like to show you guys both.
I want a picture of it, but the trees are so thick you can't see it very good.
I think you might be able to get a photo right here. I'll pull over.
Okay. Yeah, I want a picture. It's crazy.
Okay, I'll get this camera for the viewers pointed at it. Yeah, I kind of like cool days with scattered thunder showers. It makes the animals more active. I've seen a ton of deer this morning already. That's because it's one of these kind of days. As long as it doesn't like downpour.
At our camp, there is these deers who are totally just friendly, and they'll come up and stand on their hind legs to eat something out of this tree. I'm not quite sure. I went and looked. I think they just maybe like the leaves. Whatever's in the leaves, they like it, and they'll come and stand next to this one tree on their hind legs and pluck off these leaves and eat them. They're so cute. And they're white-tailed deer. Where we come from, there's mostly just mule deer. They're pretty too, but we don't get to see a lot of white-tailed deer, and so it's kind of exciting.
Those white-tailed deer tails are long.
They're long and pretty, like little white flags. And then we have some squirrels that are super chubby, and they're running around everywhere. And then we have a frog, and it is super loud. When we wake up in the morning, I'm like, can you hear the frog? Kelly's like, yeah. He won't shut up. It's just constant. And turkeys. There's like turkeys everywhere.
I set up a game camera out in the woods behind our camp. I found a spot where someone has placed a salt lick, a block of salt that like farmers will get for their cattle or horses and sheep or whatever. The deer are coming in and licking it. It's like half licked away.
There's free range around here, so it's probably just some farmer's salt lick.
Well, I thought it was a great place to put the camera because I saw all the prints everywhere of animals coming through and the game trails, and you were pointing out some of the game trails. So we threw a game camera on there. It'd be interesting if Bigfoot like crawls up and gets a lick off the old block. Bigfoot likes salt. We can already tell that some of the deer are staring down the camera.
Yeah, this morning I was watching one, and it was just doing its long little thing, and then all of a sudden it just like whips its head and looks at the camera, and I'm like, what the hell? Because the camera doesn't make any noises. Not that we can hear anyway.
It's a stealth camera. It's supposed to have a silent trigger mechanism, all yada yada yada, but I still think it makes something not detectable by us, but animals go on point. Oh, it looks like a swan out there.
I think it is. It's huge.
In there.
Yeah, we were standing on the other side of the dam just a while ago, and I was zooming up on the hills with my camera, and there was some interesting things that I couldn't make out through the blue camera, but maybe we can on the big camera, on the big screen.
Okay.
Yeah, a lot of times you'll zoom in on top of a ridge and you'll film all along there, and the little screen that you're looking at is only 2 inches by 3 inches, and so you can't really tell what you're looking at until you put it on the big screen at home.
Yeah, it's weird when you have like an animal walking around and you didn't even know it was there.
Yep.
Because you couldn't see it on that little viewfinder. Yeah, Jenny and I will do what deer hunters, elk hunters, and all that do. When they're glassing, they're looking. You get used to where places animals like, places for them to move and eat, and the edge of tree lines, all that, where you're most likely to see them if they're there. And so Jenny and I will zoom in on places of interest like that, so we can go back and look later, because maybe we'll get lucky and a Bigfoot will be one of those places where you normally see a deer, a bighorn sheep. And it's kind of cool when we go back and didn't know there was an animal there, and there was. About 6 years ago, we were investigating a Bigfoot sighting that just barely happened up by Triple Fork. And then...
This is in Utah.
And then we went to a sighting that happened about a mile from there after we checked that out, Squaw Peak. And we were zooming in on these frozen waterfalls across the way. And it's like, oh my gosh, there's people climbing those waterfalls. Yep. And I didn't notice them until we zoomed in on, because I was like, oh, those look cool, and zoom in, and there's like 2 guys in red jackets standing at the bottom, and then there's some guy with pickaxe and stuff. Crazy people climbing that thing. And I'm just thinking about the whole thing breaking and coming down on everybody.
Hundreds of feet tall, and they're clinging to the ice with little teeny grippy shoes and pickaxes. They're crazy.
Yes,
Crazy.
I know, but then people think what we do is crazy too. We're hiking around at night in mountain lion bear territory trying to get a run in with the Sasquatch.
Yeah, I guess. I just clinging to the side of a cliff, an icy cliff, just the thought of that freaks me out.
Yeah. Me too.
That's good. Nobody's here. Oh, that's a nice place to camp.
Yeah, they got it going on.
They got little dingle lights and everything going on. It's fancy. We don't have any of those. I need to buy some. Those are kind of cheery. They can just run off of those little solar packs. There is one thing that I want to get super bad, and it is a bear fence. Those little bear fences that go around your tent and then hooks up to the battery.
Yeah.
I want one of those.
Some of these people probably just sit in a room and look at gauges.
Yeah, that would be a big mess up if all of a sudden everything just, the gates open up. Let's flood the city.
Well, they generate power at these things, and I saw a lot of the towns around here. Some of them had signs bragging that all their power comes from water.
Oh, sure.
The power at the dam goes out.
Yeah.
Everybody's like out of power.
And every time I see a big dam, I always think of that Superman movie. The dam breaks and you see all the little people running. Everybody's getting washed away.
Big Eddie. Oh, this is cool. We're gonna find out. Everywhere we've gone since we've been out here is just beautiful.
No, I really like it.
Glad Bigfoot likes to live in amazing places. Sometimes, though, I ask you guys, you know, would you please have your Bigfoot sightings in less remote areas? Some of the places are crazy to get into that we've followed up on sighting reports. I'm like, what the hell?
We're clinging to the side of a mountain in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah.
I know sometimes we're on dirt roads so long that the whole next week my body feels like somebody beat me with a bat.
Oh yeah, when we spend several days a week on bad dirt roads or whatever, I sometimes come back with my back thrown out, my neck thrown out, and a lot of my back injuries, bigfooting, you know, I think, oh, I have too heavy of a backpack or whatever. I just think most of it's caused from dirt roads throwing you around. It's a logging operation. Looks like they're cleaning up a landslide area.
Yeah, all those trees are all down.
Hope you guys enjoy the Dworshak Reservoir area as much as we do. It's just gorgeous. I can see why Bigfoot has been seen and heard out here. Out at Henry Lake, close to Yellowstone National Park. I've stayed there a few times, and if you get up early, if you're camping out there and walk the shorelines of the lake, at least every time I've been there, I've found black bear tracks. They like to come down at night and walk along the edges of the lake foraging for who knows what. I mean, fish washing up on shore.
Well, people fish all day long there.
Yeah.
And they clean their fish, and then they leave all that scrap behind.
We also see that on the ocean.
Yeah.
And so
anywhere there's a big reservoir where people are fishing all day long, that's something we can check out.
Yep, and some of those places where Bigfoot has been spotted carrying kelp and stuff across the road on the 101 out there in Northern California, it's out there foraging. On the shores of the ocean. When we were taking pictures and everything from far away, it really didn't look low. But here it looks low.
Well, this is
the beginning of the runoff season. This place can hold a lot of water.
oh, they got a fish cleaning station.
Yeah, totally enclosed, so it's a bear friendly.
Mhm.
It's got to come through brick to get you and your cleaned fish.
Yep. Did you see the wake of that big boat coming?
No, I
It was
didn't.
kind of cool. There's a little trail that goes off over there. Alright, I better put my seatbelt on. Ow! Pinch my finger. Thank you. Oh. I love Diet Coke.
I knew you did.
It's part of my food groups.
I saw that machine and I'm like 20 miles away from any gas station. And I know you didn't have one in the cooler.
You know, all I got is a grapefruit Perrier.
I have unsweetened iced tea. And that's, I've either drank that or water the last like 3 days. So the kind of a little bit of a sweetness of a Diet Coke.
I like the fizz.
I like the caffeine.
To go along with our pot of coffee.
I saved our drive from yesterday.
Oh, I think they're making a road.
Some cool stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I think they're making a road that goes all the way around this little...
Oh, maybe they're just making a view area.
A little looping view.
A little view loopy area.
They don't even have a sign saying we can't go up there.
Well,
Let's do it. I know it looks like that's probably not a good time.
yeah, they haven't even, like, made it structurally sound. It's muddy. Yeah, we're just gonna use this now.
Can you guys come pull us out?
Thanks. Give us a tow.
Back to the story of the family that lived off grid near this reservoir. They claim there's a couple occasions that up on the clearings on the mountain across from us, every once in a while they'd see up to 3 of them. Sometimes they would just spot one or two here and there, but that went on for years while they lived there. The last time Jenny and I was Bigfoot in this area, we're probably about 30-40 miles from here, and we were on the Oregon side of the border in Walla Walla National Forest, and we were following that teeny little road that sits on the edge of the Hell's Canyon on the Oregon side. We're out in the middle of nowhere, and it's just barely starting to get dark, and this black Bigfoot shape runs in the road. Really weird, like it's almost like cartoonish, cartoon tiptoeing, where they tiptoe with the straight up and down back.
Yeah, it
and
was
carefully,
being real sneaky, creepy.
And he come out in the road in front of us that way, and I was like, that's awful skitty for a Bigfoot, you know. But yeah, it had the Bigfoot shape and everything. And as we got closer, it was a dude in a black ninja suit.
Yep. And he had a machete.
And he had one of those, I think it's Japanese masks, the theatrical masks that's white and kind of has
the little red lips and the
and the rouge
on the cheeks.
Yeah. And then as we go by, we're staring at him, and he like throws up his arms and his machete at us in like an aggressive manner, and we're like, I'm telling you, we're out in the middle of nowhere.
In a forest, mind you, and he throws up his arms like he's Jason or something, you know, with his machete.
Oh, it was so weird.
Yeah, it was creepy. I mean, where did this person even come from? Well,
I mean, what's the odds? Do you think we had a better chance of seeing a Bigfoot out there, or some guy in a ninja suit
with a creepy mask and a machete? Jeez, I'm sure glad we didn't break down right there.
That will always make that Bigfoot expedition memorable. The ninja.
The ninja from the woods.
I know, and the way he pulled that off, I was like, dude, you're gonna get run over by a car, because he did that in front of us as we were coming towards him, you know. And
oh, crazy.
You never know what walk of life you're gonna run into, even in the middle of nowhere in the woods.
Yep. Yeah, I don't think that person was the stablest human being in the world. I don't know. Maybe it was an experiment.
We're on the east side of Hell's Canyon, and that happened on the west side. And that kind of gives a greater area of the Bigfoot sightings. I mean, we were in the Walla Mountains because of that. Because of sightings.
Yeah, it's pretty over there too. I really liked it.
Well, the east side and the west side are
very similar.
Yeah, they remind me of each other. How
all the trees,
the terrain, and
all the moss. The sun came out. I thought it might rain all day.
It's beautiful. Yeah, it rained most of the night, and we woke up and got ready with rain. Try to help wash the bugs and mud off the car.
Yesterday we were driving through a bug storm. It was so thick it sounded like it was rain hitting the windshield. Black, purple, black.
I know, and then you try to wash them off the window and they just smear with the windshield wipers.
Yeah. Man, these people look clear up. So nice. Oh, there's a deer.
Yep.
You just standing there. Hello. Oh, there's a couple of them.
Oh, some in the shade that were harder to see. It's amazing how your eyes pick up the one in the sunlight first, and then the ones up under the shadows of the trees, it's like they just melt in.
There's a lot of trees out here that just are covered with flowers. I wonder what they produce, if anything. I mean, do some trees just have flowers and no fruit, or how does that work?
Most flowering trees have some type of a fruit or a seed. If the flower gets pollinated.
Looks like there's raspberry bushes all over there.
Probably is. Or thimbleberries.
Yeah, they look like pokeberry bushes.
Pokeberries.
Most berry plants have stickers on them. They're pokey.
New category of berries. Pokeberries.
Pokey.
Anything with vines and thorns that has a berry on it's a pokeberry.
Pokeberry. Strawberries don't have pokies.
Fun seeing all the area in between the sighting locations, and that's Bigfoot habitat. I'll bet you Bigfoot likes pokeberries. Bigfoot's so tough he probably eats the thorns too.
Owie. Driving up this road in the snow would not be pleasant.
These roads are scary in nice conditions.
I know.
I mean, even you go anywhere off this road, either side, you're gonna need help getting back on, or you just ain't ever gonna get back on. Definitely want to stay on the road here. Okay, the community around the dam part of that reservoir, we get reports from around that community, sightings, and a lot of vocalization reports. And now we're driving back here behind the reservoir where people have seen it, seen them. Yeah, so some of the sightings are up to 3 of them. Little patch burnt here.
Yeah, it looks like there's some fire damage.
Reason that Jenny and I went out to Moscow Mountain and everything yesterday, that's one of the places we visited, is just a few months ago a guy filmed a bunch of Bigfoot tracks in the snow down at the base of Moscow Mountain, and I'm like, hey, there was just a Bigfoot sighting last year outside of Moscow, and then not too far from Moscow, Potlatch, another sighting there. Gosh, we're getting up high. It's making my head dizzy. Wow. So cool.
I think that's the canyon over there that goes over to Pierce.
Okay.
I was looking on the map the other day.
I think they call it Big Cottonwood Canyon that goes to Pierce. Is that the one?
It wasn't Cottonwood. It was
Big Cotton?
No.
Okay. I just remember when you were pointing up that way, I thought that's what I read. That might be another one further to the east
No, it
or
was
west.
it was Big something Canyon, but I don't think it was Cottonwood. But yeah, that's the exact same place that we were pointing at and talking about going yesterday.
Yeah, we may end up there today or tomorrow.
Whoa, looks like we're just gonna fly up into the air.
Holy schmoly.
You see all the mountain valleys from up here.
roads are narrow. Narrow, no shoulder.
It's like the sound of music up here.
It's pretty.
It's a nice place to be a farmer. Having fields up on top of the mountain. So pretty. Oh, there's so many deer. And elk. We saw lots of elk the other day.
Saw a herd of them yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I have this stereotype in my head of what a Bigfoot sighting location looks like. You know, when I heard about the road crossing one between Potlatch and Moscow, I just imagined thick forests and it crossing the road from thick forest to thick forest, and we get out there and it's just mostly farms like this.
Yep, just like high mountain farms.
I mean, little forest areas like what you're seeing now, and farms and everything, and
yeah, they got to get from point A to point B.
well, and all kinds of wild animals love these farm areas and get different types of grains and alfalfa and apples or whatever. Like in the Grand Mesa area, we noticed that there's all those vineyards and apple farms.
And grapes and whatever.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of distilleries around here as well.
When I was a kid growing up, our family used to pheasant hunt. And one of my favorite places to pheasant hunt was in the corn or the wheat. Because I knew there would always be pheasants there. Jenny saw a fox a couple of nights ago.
Oh yeah.
On the edge of our camp, over by the vehicle. She went to the vehicle to get some stuff.
I wanted some bottled water because I didn't have anything to drink. And so I crept over there, and there it comes running out. It scared the hell out of me. Go away, fox.
And we've seen a lot of turkeys in and around our camp, so he might be there for the turkeys.
He was big fox, too. Usually they aren't that big. At first I thought it was a coyote, but it was not. Its tail was way too long. Bushy. That sign back there said that Kendrick was just a couple miles this way, and we can just swoop around and go around.
Let's do that then.